Silent Hill F was a fantastic game from start to finish. However, the game absolutely pissed me off. And if you want to know why, be sure to stay tuned till the bugs and glitches category till the end so you can not only see, but also understand on why this game pissed me off so much. In Silent Hill F, you play as Hanako, a girl living in the rural areas of Japan in the 1960s. All seems fun and dandy until Silent Hill happens. The fog casts over the village, and it is up to Hanako and her friends to try and escape. But can they escape this horror? Silent Hill F is downright depressing. Not only does it touch on drug abuse and just depression, physical and mental abuse, there's so many things here that really just hurt you to the soul. And there are some gruesome scenes in it. So if you are weak stomached or weak minded, I don't necessarily think this game might be good for you. But if you're fine with all that, then this game is going to be a blast. Now, I don't really want to say too much more about the story because I don't want to spoil anything, because there are definitely some things that can be spoiled. What I will say, though, is the story was fantastic. I do think there were some moments that had me going, what's going on? Why am I confused? Things like that. After beating the game, I had to discuss it with my wife and be like, do you know what happened? And I even had to call my friend and we just discussed what happened, bounced our theories and thoughts, because the game overall did have some confusing moments in it. But after discussing with them, it makes sense. Everything makes sense with it. It just might take you a little bit to understand everything. Be sure to read all the notes and everything on the ground too, because that will really help with the story and understand what is going on. Gameplay is a blast in Silent Hill F. I will say that it kind of felt a little bit Souls-like. There were a lot of moments where I had to dodge an enemy and hit him at the right moment, and you get only close range weapons like crowbars and kitchen knives and things along that line. There are no long range weapons whatsoever, which broke my heart when I'm like, man, if I had a bow and arrow right now, I would light one of these motherfuckers up. But I couldn't do it because all my weapons were close ranged. Now, the game as a survival horror works. There were so many moments I did not have enough health to even fight, or all my weapons were broken, and I was like, what am I doing with my life? So I had to survive. Horror, because the enemies are more horrific than the next. Coming across an enemy that is hiding in a corner, lunging at you, or on a ceiling, jumping down at you when you least expect it, definitely made me go eek and ah a few times. Now, on to everybody's favorite category. Bugs and glitches. Where do I begin? This game, now I said I was going to tell you why this game pissed me off, and I'm going to do that. Every time I went into this freaking city, so you go from the city to like a house, and then a city to like a shrine, stuff like that. Every single time I went into the city, my game had horrific frame rate drops. And I'll show you on the screen. I almost gave up playing this damn game over and over and over again because it was literally unplayable. Trying to fight enemies, especially when you are required to fight an enemy and you can't do it because the screen is dropping frames so bad. It just frustrated me. And I am the only one that I know that had this issue. My friend that played this game, he didn't run into any issues. I have a few other people that I know that played this game. They didn't run into any issues. With me, I don't know why, on my PS5 Pro, the game hated me every single time I went into the city, and it really affected the overall game experience and the immersiveness of the game. Other than that, I did have one time where the game wouldn't let me interact with something that was required for story-related progression. I had to go back to the main menu, reload the game, and then it did let me interact with the item, but it was a minor annoyance that was quickly fixed with a reload of my save. Silent Hill F is an experience. If you are a fan of survival horrors, if you are a fan of Silent Hill, I highly suggest playing this game. I would give Silent Hill F an 8 out of 10. And the only reason I'm giving it an 8, all the times the frame rate dropped. And I said this earlier and I showed some of it, but I cannot stress enough where it was literally a good 2 hours-ish of the game where the game just ran so bad. And I pushed through and I pushed through hoping that it would get better. And then I realized it was only in that area. So every single time I just rushed through all the enemies, I wasn't picking up stuff. It really hindered the experience of the game and it really hurt my overall score. Other than that, I feel like the story was good, but it could be a bit confusing at times to where I was like, I had to call somebody and ask, like, what was your thoughts on it? And bouncing ideas of what actually happened and stuff like that. I feel like the story could be confusing to some people, especially if they didn't read all the notes and things along that lines. So that's why I would give it an 8 out of 10. I still think the game is absolutely phenomenal and I would highly, highly suggest it. Just something to keep in mind. Hopefully you don't run into the glitches I ran into and the game runs smoothly and you will enjoy every minute of this game. That is it for me, though. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about the game, let me know in the comments down below. This is Chris with Platinum Reviews. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more Platinum Review goodness. I will catch you on the next video, and as always, keep getting those trophies.